Hello, everybody. This is Nick.
And Matthew from Plastic Tombstone.
And we're back after a week of sickness, and we're going to cover 2 episodes of Game of Thrones this week.
I had that plague that makes you into a scale stone man.
Oh, you had the grayscale?
Yeah, I had the grayscale, so...
Oh, Samuel Tarly just kind of took care of that for you,
Yeah,
right?
well, after that episode, I figured out how to take care of myself, so...
There you go.
I took care of it. I'm good. Don't worry.
Good. And we're going to talk about some Evil Dead stuff, some Deadpool stuff, some Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. We got a couple things to talk about this week.
We got a few things to throw off each other's heads.
Let me start off with this because I keep forgetting. Did you see that they're remaking Rocko's Modern Life with the original voice cast?
I heard that they were remaking it, but I didn't read any details or anything.
It's all the original voice cast, and it takes place in current time. So they Heifer and Filbert were going to the I can't remember what it was called. It was like a cell phone store, but it was like an Apple ripoff store kind of thing.
Well,
and it takes place in modern times, and it has all the original voice actors, and they actually showed a 5-minute clip at Comic-Con, and it was actually really good.
Huh, well,
especially if you like the original. I remember that very fondly. You know,
such a weird show.
Such an off the wall. They don't. I mean, there's a couple of shows that do that nowadays, but
now it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're older and we don't get it as much. Back then when we were younger, when we were watching that, we thought it was funny.
Yeah,
but it still holds up to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you watch Adventure Time?
Yeah.
You like that?
I do.
I can't get into it. I think it just confuses me a little bit.
I like it just because it reminds me of being a kid. Everything's it's like a childhood imagination to me. That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah.
Everything's it's just the way you see things as a kid. Everything's adventure and sword play and all that kind of stuff. All kinds of weird characters you make up as you go. So that's kind of the way I see Adventure Time. I just hate that hipsters made it kind of
Yeah. That's what stopped me and gave me pause for certain animated shows because I'm is this
That's why I haven't watched Rick and Morty because it's just
You should totally watch it though.
I know you told me and I do want to watch it.
It's actually surprisingly smart. It feels to me a little bit more like there's more at stake. It's very cartoony and it sort of episodes just end, but there's some of the stuff that happens in the episode carries over to other episodes, so it feels more serialized and episodic.
That's the same way Adventure Time is. There's some episodes that just end abruptly, and then they'll pick up stuff later.
Yeah,
so.
And Rick and Morty seems to me I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe because there's only about 10 episodes per season, and between season 2 and 3, which season 3 just premiered, it's been 2 years because they've been writing it and stuff, and it's very sci-fi heavy and it's very I don't know. It's really well written and it's really quick, and it constantly keeps you guessing, and it pulls stuff from, like I said, from the other episodes. So
I need to watch it. I'll check it out. It's just it's one of those things when things become super popular, it's hard for me to get into it.
Yeah, the first episode I wasn't the biggest fan of, but there was a couple episodes, specifically the one with the interdimensional cable was really good because it was just random television shows.
See, I jumped into Adventure Time because Andrew's son was watching it, and Andrew's like, "This show's so weird," and I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out," and I watched it, and then it became this huge thing, and it kind of killed my buzz for it.
Yeah, that's it. Kind of sucks when that happens a little bit. Just you enjoy something and something's kind of niche, and then all of a sudden everybody just sort of, this is it. Kind of like Sharknado.
Yep.
Because that Sharknado the 5th, whatever the hell that's called, premiered last weekend.
Well, even The Room, I love all these terrible movies, and The Room is one of those, but some people kind of ruin that. When we went to one of the screenings, I've been to 2 of the screenings, and the screenings are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
People are throwing plastic spoons and yelling. And
I think I take issue with that.
Well, it's fun. It is hilarious. It is a lot of fun. But then there was one we went to, and one of the guys that was sitting there was "Ooh, fucking noobs!" Talking about some of the people who had never been to one before.
Oh yeah.
Kind of experiencing it and having fun. It's just let them have fun, man. Don't try to be that person.
Don't try to be the gatekeeper. That's what they're called.
That what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you think something is untouchable, if you were playing the original Pokemon game, then they made a new one, you said it's not as good. That's what a gatekeeper essentially is.
Well, this guy was basically when people would not do things because there's certain cues and stuff. Some people would yell, some people run up to the screen, and somebody does something out of that order that's been made for that. He's like, "Oh, fucking noobs, man! You guys." Ooh. I'm just like, why are you so concerned with this?
It
makes me not want to enjoy this that much.
Yeah, it's not life and death. It's The Room, for Christ's sakes.
But it is a lot of fun. The screenings are chaos. but like fun chaos.
Yeah, I don't know if I how much I would interact with that, but I've seen some of the footage and stuff from people like just chucking spoons.
Yeah, I threw spoons. That's about it. Like I don't get up and do all the running and stuff. I do watch the other people because it's just funny.
Yeah. Speaking of that, again, I said Sharknado 5 premiered this weekend, and I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it since the first one because I
only watched the riff tracks for the first one.
I think it's trying a little too hard.
Oh yeah.
But let me tell you how this ended. So spoiler alert for the end of Sharknado 5 because me and Matt aren't going to watch it. Maybe one day we'll just sit down and try to muster through all.
One day we'll have a marathon of Sharknadoes.
But it ends with the main guy's son going into the Sharknado, and I shit you not, he comes out as Dolph Lundgren. Like, he found a time machine inside the Sharknado, so he came back older, and he took his dad into the Sharknado to go back in time to stop Sharknadoes from ever happening.
Well,
I mean,
I think today's the 30th anniversary as we're recording this of the Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my God, they're connecting the two. Oh Jesus. But yeah, I just read that today, and I'm like, what? That's real? Last time I saw they were in space, like Tara Reid was shooting laser beams out of her palm of her hand or something. I don't know. It went a little off the rails.
Yeah.
The first one was all about just sharks in a tornado attacking people, and then it became like really.
It's different when you're aware that you're making a bad movie.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but making a true bad movie that's entertaining is an art.
It's like if they tried to make The Room 2 and they just try to make it terrible. It's like you
Yeah.
tried, and it's evident that you tried. You can't just go in and fake try. That's not how it works, you know?
Yeah, because when Tommy Wiseau made that movie, he thought he was making some classic movie. It was going to like touch people's hearts and leave people questioning their lives and stuff. And
Good on him for embracing all that, you know?
yeah, I mean,
and not just being like,
but
ugh.
it also kind of sucks though because we'll never get another Tommy Wiseau movie that's truly his vision. He's kind of become this goofy character that
Yeah.
everybody plays him out to be. And even Greg Sestero said that in one of the interviews. He said, we'll never see another true trying to like break people's heart movie from Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he'll never try again because
Yeah.
he tried really hard and essentially turned to do a joke, and now it's
made him famous. So
Yeah.
it worked, I guess.
You got some Evil Dead stuff?
Yeah, didn't we talk about on the last podcast about how there was nothing at Comic-Con for Evil Dead?
Yeah.
So typically Evil Dead, Ash's Evil Dead airs on usually around Halloween. First two seasons have. This year they're saying maybe 2018.
Oh man, getting pushed.
Yeah, so Starz is pushing it back. There's not been a lot of promotion, so I don't know about it's
Production problems?
No, it's finished.
Oh, you mean it's not going to come out?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's coming out. It's finished. It's done filming, but they're not going to. From what I understand, they're not going to release it in October because of Stranger Things.
Oh, I would guess that. Yeah, that'd be a hard. Two different things, though.
I know. It's like people will binge watch Stranger Things in a night, where Ash's Evil Dead's a television show.
Yeah, that comes on weekly.
Yeah.
That's a weird move.
That's just rumor. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's weird that they're pushing it back when the first two seasons have had such heavy promotion and
Halloween. I mean, it's a Halloween show. Not a
Yeah.
Halloween. It's not a Halloween
yeah,
show, but it's a horror show. You know, it should be.
It's a lot of fun to have a Halloween party and get together and watch Ash's Evil Dead. We did it the first two seasons.
Oof. Yeah, it's weird.
But kind of on that same note, some New Line Cinema notes came out today. I read about. We talked about with the Avengers trailer how there's never been another like a cinematic universe thing where characters all come together.
Yeah.
Well, Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh no.
What do you think about that movie?
What do I think about that movie? I think Freddy vs. Jason was 90 minutes too long. I think Freddy vs. Jason could have been a short fan film or a short film that they made themselves, 20 minutes of them fighting, because that's what everybody wanted to see.
Yeah.
I think it was okay. The setup was okay, but it was also like, it also felt like long to me. It felt like
the fighting was fun. Other than that, it was
just a bad Friday the 13th movie.
But
a bad Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah, but at the time, that was pretty big.
It was a big deal. Yeah, it was a big deal when it came
and it was
out.
successful too.
Yeah.
So with the success of that, there was a rumor of a part 2, and some New Line notes came out today showing that it was going to be Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they were really pushing for that. And these notes point out that Robert Englund had grown tired of being Freddy.
Oh man, come on.
And he actually wanted Ash to kill him, and actually end his character.
That would have been good.
So that was originally the original plans. Like, that's insane to think that that was turned down, and they went on with a Evil Dead remake and all that other stuff.
Yeah, there was another rumor that, or even somewhat film scenes that Pinhead was.
Yeah,
like,
no.
in
In those notes, they talk about like they wanted to expand with like Pinhead, the guy from Phantasm the Tall Man, Chucky, like all these characters that they wanted to add into like make like this big.
Like a Super Smash Brothers version of the horror icons.
Yeah, and with like the Avengers being so popular now, what do you think about that? Like, do you think they're kind of kicking themselves in the ass for not jumping on that?
Maybe, but you're also dealing with comic books. There's so much lore and there's so much more backstory than for those.
Yeah.
You only have so much. Up until that point, there was only like 4 Chucky movies. Jason and Freddy were kind of the same characters. Who else would you have thrown in there? Where do you draw the line at horror icons?
Right.
We're aliens. We're
the
Predator. That's where it gets sticky and iffy. Is how big could they have gone? It would have been cool to see something like that. I always thought it would have been cool to have a fighting game that was just that.
There's a homemade one called Terror Dome online you can play.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. It has all the different horror icons, but just think about like those were real notes. They were literally thinking about having Ash killing Freddy. That's insane.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
It never got past the point of just talking.
Yeah, so many
especially
things.
Especially as successful as Freddy vs. Jason was, that they never followed up on it.
Yeah, I don't know why they never did, because that movie did pretty well when it came out. I thought.
Yeah, I went and saw it 5 times in the theater.
Jesus,
I loved it when it came out. Like now, I look at it, and I'm like,
it's one of those things where you look back on it and you're just like, eh.
I think at the time, we were still just thirsty for good horror movies, and
yeah. I kind of feel like I did that, not to bash it again, but I kind of feel like I did that with Batman vs. Superman. I think I really enjoyed it the first time I watched it, and then it doesn't hold up as much to subsequent viewings for me anyway. I tried to watch it again. I was just like, whew.
I did not enjoy that movie when I watched it. I was so bored.
Long. Yeah, it's just so long.
It's boring, man.
Yeah.
Like, just a bunch of talking.
So now they're talking about Wonder Woman's going to be in Flashpoint, which is the Flash's original movie, because they're banking.
Are they going to put Wonder Woman in everything? Because
they're just going to bank on it. Yeah,
she's the only successful one.
She's a successful one, so they're just going to bank. They're just going to put her in all the movies and just hope the buzz carries over. That's what I read. Anyway.
They're going to kill one. They're going to kill her buzz. They're going to kill like her. I guess her buzz.
They're going to Tony Stark her essentially.
Yeah, but
because everybody loved Tony Stark, so it's like, let's put him in everything now, and it's just like. I think he's still all right, but he's starting to wear out his welcome a little bit.
Yeah,
he's in everything. He's in Captain America. He just shows up everywhere. So it's kind of like everybody likes a character, but just pull it back a little bit.
When are we going to get that Avengers Infinity War official trailer? When is that coming?
Like, I don't know, but you know what they did announce.
I did watch a better version of it, by the way, and it was what I saw. It was awesome.
Yeah.
What did they announce?
In Captain Marvel, they're premiering the Skrulls.
I did hear something about the Skrulls being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, because they were stuck in the Fantastic Four copyright infringement bubble. So now they're finally showing up.
So is there speculation that the Fantastic Four can now come over to Marvel?
I don't
possibly
know. If they were smart, they would do that, because they could have 2 failed. They had one movie, and then Rise of the Silver Surfer kind of botched.
Yeah, I mean, Fantastic Four has not had a good track record when it comes to.
That other Fantastic... Did you ever watch that other Fantastic Four?
I haven't. I've watched enough videos about it to know I never want to watch it.
Yeah, it's so scattered. It feels like a movie that was made, like, and then they just, like, let's just cut a bunch of it out. Because you were watching it, it's moving along, and all of a sudden, months are missing. What happened?
I heard it's a lot of people standing in dark rooms talking.
It's pretty much what it is. Dr. Doom shows up for like 10 minutes at the end and does nothing.
And I also heard that they act like they're ashamed that they're like superheroes. Like they don't ever like say like, "Oh, I'm Mr. Fantastic. Who are the Fantastic?" Like, they act like they're ashamed that they're.
Yeah, one of them's on the run and the other one's like, Johnny Storm wanted to use her powers, but everybody's like, "Oh, I'm reluctant to." Melancholy malaise.
Who would do that?
Come on. So this is why Fantastic Four should go to Marvel, because Sony Pictures has lost $86 million in 2017's first fiscal quarter, but they're expected to boost profits and be profitable this year based solely on Spider-Man.
Well, I think Fantastic Four belongs to Fox.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, look at what Spider-Man going to Marvel has done for Sony.
Yeah, you're right.
And Fox can't hurt.
That should be an eye-opening thing for Sony.
Yeah.
They should not be trying to play these games where they're like, oh, we'll make Spider-Man really famous, and then when it becomes negotiation time, we'll use him as leverage. No, fucking work it out, make some money, and let Spider-Man stay in the cinematic universe and let the fans enjoy it.
Yeah,
And
because
let Marvel still have the creative decisions as far as the movie goes.
Spider-Man he's one of my favorite superheroes,
Yeah,
hands down, just because
he's relatable.
He's relatable, and you can tell from that Infinity War, like we watched that leaked footage, every time he popped up on the screen, people flipped. Even if it was just his face or in his suit, that's when people kind of just went nuts.
He's just an iconic character, and they did him right.
Yeah, they nailed him in Homecoming. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely go see that.
Do you think anybody's going to cheer for Superman if he shows up in a Justice League trailer?
No, they're going to be like, why?
Dude, he helped the entire world.
Why didn't he throw the spear at the end?
That's what I was wondering. Why didn't Aquaman pop up at the end?
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. But
that's what I was waiting for. I'm like, Lois Lane's drowning. Here comes Aquaman. Here he comes. He's coming out of the water. Here comes. Oh, nope. No, he's not coming. Okay.
All right. So she's just gonna swim to the top. Cool.
Okay. Well, Superman's gotta go save her again.
So let's talk Deadpool.
Domino and Cable have been revealed.
Yeah. Domino's a bit of a different look. She's got bigger hair.
She's got pretty much a fro. That's about it, really. She doesn't look too much different, I don't think. I know a lot of people are throwing a big stink about how she looks.
But who cares? Just trust that they'll do right by her, like they did by all the other characters in that movie.
We'll see.
Cable looked awesome.
Yeah,
pretty accurate to his roots.
Yeah,
he has this big cyborg arm. He had the little glowing eye. Had all the stuff on.
He doesn't look like the Rob Liefeld version with a million pockets and
yeah,
giant shoulder pads.
Well, you also have to you really have to tone that down when it comes to interpreting, because
Rob Liefeld is a horrible artist. He's horrible for making all that nonsense.
Cable looked like a Gears of War character.
Yeah,
he had giant, massive bowling ball shoulders.
Dude, there's a video.
Nobody has that.
If you ever get a chance, there's a video of Stan Lee back in the day, him and Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld are it was a 90s VHS tape video, I guess, where they were showing how they draw their characters. And Rob Liefeld is sitting there drawing, and him and Todd McFarlane are drawing this big muscular guy named Overkill with all these chains and bullets, and Stan Lee's just like, what is this? He's like, that looks like it'd be hard to move in. They're like, no, man, kids love this. He's like, I forgot what he says. He says so many smart ass things to them while they're drawing these big, hulked out, ridiculous looking characters that came out of the 90s.
Yeah, you can't.
I'll have to show you that. It's funny as shit.
It's like Doom when you can constantly switch between all the weapons. How's he carrying a rocket launcher, a minigun, a chain gun? How's he carrying all that stuff and swapping it on the fly? I just like the idea of them panning out and he's just walking with this giant backpack of guns. But looks cool. I'm excited. I think he looks the part.
Yeah.
So it's only been filming for 12 days, so we're nowhere near a trailer of any kind.
And it's kind of weird this stuff is coming out after Comic-Con. There was no Deadpool reveals at all at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Weird.
Isn't that a summer movie? Maybe summer next year,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Okay. Because I know it was a gamble, so it was Valentine's Day last year.
Are there any movies out right now that's even worth fucking going watching?
No, I still want to see Planet of the Apes. I just haven't got a chance to see it. I might go see it tomorrow.
Hey, I watched the Belko experiment the other night.
I did. I saw that a couple weeks ago.
Pretty good.
That was pretty good. That's
Yeah.
James. That's the James Gunn wrote that, right?
Yeah. His brother's in it.
And it's his brother is in it, and
Yeah.
it's basically Battle Royale.
Yeah.
In an office building. If you haven't seen Battle Royale, you should go see it.
I've heard about it. I've heard people be like, it's a ripoff, and I was like, I don't care. I watched this one.
Well, Battle Royale came out originally, and then Hunger Games came out, which was basically the young adult version, and then Belko Experiment came out, which is it's just a Battle Royale experience. I think personally, Belko Experience, I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It definitely wasn't a deep thinker. It was just an entertaining movie to watch people get unhinged.
And that's sometimes what you need. As long as it's entertaining, that's all that matters.
It felt very Game of Thronesy because you didn't really know if anybody was particularly safe because they were popping off people left and right who were being established as main characters, and then all of a sudden their head was blown off or whatever. So I know it was pretty good. It's definitely worth a rent.
Yeah, we were in it. It was.
If
good.
you haven't seen Battle Royale, you should see it. There is one particular scene in a lighthouse.
It's a Japanese movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nuts. It's just you have to see it and then we can talk about it because it's just like it's hard to explain what happens, and if I talk about it, then it'll kind of ruin the whole thing.
I'll check it out.
I watched it a couple years ago, but
I'll watch it one of these years when I get
one of these years when you have time.
When I have like fucking a day off.
What else you got? Anything?
How
do you feel about microtransactions in games?
I think we've touched on this before. I'm not too thrilled about them.
Yeah. Everybody's kind of up in arms because Shadows of Mordor, the sequel, Shadows of War, is going to have microtransactions where you can like level up faster. It's a single-player game.
The wrestling games do that too. The wrestling games do that too, where it's like, buy the booster pack and you can have all your stats already boosted all the way up. Like,
yeah. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of playing the game?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guess it's good for somebody like me who doesn't have a lot of time to sit down and play games. Maybe if I want to just go ahead and have all that stuff unlocked, like,
yeah,
I miss the days of codes.
Yeah. That's essentially selling us codes is what that is.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I'm kind of sick of microtransactions. Like, it feels like everything's like here's a game, but here's the rest of it. You'll get it later.
Yeah.
You have to pay for it, but go ahead and pay for the full price of the game now. We'll give you the rest later for, $29.99. You'll get the full roster.
I think it can be done right. I feel like Overwatch does it right. I know you don't play that, but Overwatch constantly releases characters for free, releases new maps for free, and once you level up, you get a loot box, and it's just a random drop what you get in it. A lot of the time, people complain because you get like repeat sprays, and nobody uses sprays, and nobody uses emblems. Everybody wants costumes and shaders and stuff. But you can buy those if you want that, but it's purely cosmetic. So for a game to say, yes, give us a little more money if you want something kind of fancier for your character, but we're not going to like withhold a character from you just to get a little bit more money from you, like Smash Brothers did.
What's even more insane is when they do it and leave it. It's actually on the disc.
Oh yeah, like Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers, Street Fighter Cross Tekken did that, where they locked a bunch of characters.
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play that one, but they
Street Fighter 5 Guile was on the disc, but you had to pay to unlock it.
Yeah, that's insane. That is stupid.
Yeah,
you should not be doing that.
I mean, people, your money's gonna.
If you're gonna do that,
fix that.
It's like do it on like an app. Do it on a mobile game. Leave console games alone because you constantly just keep milking the same game, especially once it come out yearly. Like the WWE games, like every year you have to buy a season pass and all this crap. It's like why?
Yeah, that gets expensive.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like
if you're gonna do that, do it like kind of like Destiny does. Bring a game out every 3 years and then make the price tag worth it.
Or do like Zelda. Zelda. I didn't mind paying for that
DLC.
Yeah, because it didn't come out a month after the game came out. I already finished most of the game, and now I was ready for a little something extra.
Yeah, man, Resident Evil was terrible. Resident Evil 7 released it the next week. Like, here's some DLC. Do you want it for $5? And it would have been cool. I was against it. I refused to pay for it because I'm like, you're seriously going to sell me an extra 20 minutes? No, I'll pass.
Yeah.
And there are going to be people like me who do that, but there are also going to be people like, yeah, I want more, and then pay for it. So as long as people do that, they'll keep doing it.
Well, the thing with Zelda, too, was, like I said, we'd already beaten the game, so it gave us a little something extra, and it also gives you something that can be potentially useful in the full game. So, like, the Trial of the Sword, if you can beat that, you can use the Master Sword in the full game.
Yeah.
So it gives you a little something extra that way, too.
To strive for and to work towards.
Yeah. And there'll probably be a DLC where you can like buy to beat that, and
just buy a chest to get the unlimited Master Sword. I still haven't done the Trials of the Sword.
I haven't either. I had to take a break from Zelda. I love that game. I just had to take a break from it.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
I occasionally play it every once in a while, but I don't have a lot of time. So
I've been playing Shadows of Mordor because I got it on sale for $4.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I forgot how great that game was.
I tried playing it when you let me borrow it, but I'm so stuck on Zelda.
Yeah,
like it's not Zelda, so I don't want to play it.
Man, it gets pretty addicting for me.
I'll probably get WWE 2K18 just because I'm stupid like that.
You got to have the wrestling game.
Well, man, I liked the last one. It was pretty good, but like it was glitchy as crap. So like, I'd spend all this time making my own like wrestling show and characters and stuff, and it just like the same wrestler would attack themselves, like it'd glitch out, like stuff like that, and like it'd randomly glitch like the pictures of them and stuff, and just screw it all up. It was all screwy. I was just like, you know what, fuck this game. I don't.
Is that the potential problem with yearly games? Is that like
Yeah, there's not enough time put into them.
yeah, because they're like they're on a deadline.
And like the wrestling games used to not do that. Back in the day, like at N64, you had like 3 wrestling games.
Why don't we do a playthrough of like the old Warzone?
You know what we need to play through?
What's that?
There's a game on Steam called Pro Wrestling Revolution.
Oh, I heard about that with the 500 created wrestlers where people can make them.
I've had it on the iPad for a long time. I didn't know they'd put it on Steam till recently, so I'm gonna get it on because actually it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and don't they have like a not amazing, but a pretty good creator wrestler thing?
Yeah, it's pretty
people
simple.
Are uploading their stuff,
and it's also like wonky as shit, so it's actually pretty funny in that way.
Yeah, glitchy games can be fun.
They made a game called like High School Days or something on the iPad I've got. It's one of the same people, and it's like you're just walking around this high school. I think I made all of us. But we're all just randomly walking around. There's other people, and like you can like beat each other up with random stuff, throw bombs at each other, and
I'll have to check that out.
You should. It's dumb.
We should have to do a playthrough of that. We gotta get back into that, man.
I know we gotta play some games.
I'm looking at. We got a nice setup down here. It's just finding the time to do it because we keep getting toys.
Yeah.
Keep having to do toy boxes.
Winter slows down for me, so
yeah, we'll do it then. We'll just cram in a bunch of games on a weekend.
Fucking get under a blanket, get some hot chocolate,
and party out because we need to do Friday the 13th the game. A couple playthroughs of that because that would be fun.
Some Injustice 2. I didn't play that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't even. I heard the cutscenes that were amazing.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's just I don't have time.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. So that's it.
That's it.
End of the regularly scheduled program.
Bye.
And if you're still here,
please buy our new downloadable content exclusively from.
Yeah, if you want the rest of this podcast, we're gonna need $2.99, please. Thank you.
To get the Digging Deeper segment.
Digging Deeper. So let's do it. Digging deeper into 2 episodes of Game of Thrones because we were out last week.
Yep.
The Queen's Justice and Spoils of War. Let's talk about the Queen's Justice.
We're going to talk very spoiler heavy if you haven't watched
this.
Very,
very spoiler heavy. So if you haven't seen it and you've managed to somehow stay away from the internet for more than 10 minutes after the show's over.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, a dragon shows up.
Woo!
And some people die.
Okay,
so let's talk about the first one. The first one we missed last week, Queen's Justice.
Wasn't a ton really happened.
It was another setup episode.
The best thing that happened is you find out who killed Joffrey.
Yeah. So Lady Tyrell, with her final breath, sort of confesses that she's the one who poisoned Joffrey to Jaime.
And Jaime's just like, eh.
Well, Jaime's sad because Jaime thought it was his brother the whole time, and that sort of clears Tyrion's name essentially. Yeah. So let's talk about how we got there. We got there basically because Tyrion had a plan to take Castle Rock, which was the Lannisters' home.
Yep, and then the Unsullied show up, and there's like not enough guards, and there's like, what the fuck? Where's everybody at?
And then the Greyjoy fleet sort of flanks them, and now they're semi-stranded at Castle Rock.
Yep.
And during that time, Jaime took all of the Lannister troops, plus the Tarleys, which is Sam's dad and brother, took them to Highgarden and took out them. Took out the Tyrells.
The Tyrells, yep.
And that's where essentially Cersei wanted the money to pay back the Iron Bank because the Lannisters owed them a lot of money.
Yeah, so they basically took them down to get the money.
So there was a lot of moving parts in that episode.
Isn't it kind of crazy? Like Jaime Lannister started off as this really hateful.
He was the worst.
He was the worst. Then he kind of did a face turn. And now he's kind of like in that middle ground. Like, you don't know which way he's going to go.
Well, you're not fully rooting for him, but you're not fully cheering for him either.
Yeah.
You don't really know what to do.
He's a neutral character at this point. You're like, I still want to kind of like him, but I don't know. He's still fucking his sister.
What else happened in that episode?
He fucked his sister?
Oh, that was the big episode where Dany and Jon finally met. And there was a very tense... Jon did not bend the knee, by the way.
He did not. He was like,
he said, I can't do that. He did his classic thing that me and Matt have been talking about for the past 3 weeks. He's like, listen, there's ice zombies coming. She's like, yeah, but Cersei's over there, and I need to be on the throne. He's like, come on.
He's like, listen.
It's important.
And then in this the latest episode, like, he's like, come, I need to show you something. And he's like, look at these paintings that show the Ice King. I was expecting her to be like, did you do this?
Did you paint these ice zombies on the wall?
Jon Snow.
But it was a really well played out scene. It was interesting to finally see 2 main characters.
Obviously, there's some sexual tension between Jon Snow and Daenerys already.
Yeah, which could be his aunt, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah, well,
you know, it's Game of Thrones.
It's Jaime and Cersei.
But I think I remember you told me in the first season, you were like, Jon Snow's going to be a big deal.
I knew he was. You could just tell.
Yeah, and nobody really knew
Yeah.
where he was going or where his character was going, and nobody would have ever guessed, especially in the first couple seasons, that he would be the head King of the North, you know.
Well, I mean, they've kind of hinted that there's something special about him, especially the fact that he came back to life.
Yeah.
And the fact that Daenerys can't die by fire, so both they are the ice and fire.
Yeah. So
and there's the theme song. It's the Song of Ice and Fire. So
yeah, it's definitely
bing bong. There
bing
you
bong.
go.
It's there.
They win. They win the Game of Thrones. It's over. You don't have to watch the rest of the season.
Done. There was the cool scene we were talking about with the Unsullied attacking Castle Rock. I thought that was really well done. It was a different sort of action sequence because you got to see the action as Tyrion was voicing it over.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really good twist that you were watching it going, God, Tyrion's got a good plan going on here, and then it got flipped on him, and he sort of underestimated Cersei and Jaime a little bit.
Yeah, and then this last episode, Daenerys is kind of second guessing Tyrion now.
Yeah, because she thinks he's
kind of got his family's best interest in mind or something.
At least Jaime's. I'm pretty sure he doesn't care too much.
And
about
he still kind of shows that, like in this last episode, he's still like, you know,
wanting his brother to be okay and
just
all that
standing
stuff.
there staring at him as he's running at a dragon. Like,
so
stop it, stupid.
So yeah, we're lumping these two episodes together. So Bran came back finally.
Oh,
Matt's favorite, Bran.
Good. The man who sucks all the charisma out of the room, Bran.
Well, he's now like super.
He's now the three-eyed raven. He's no longer Bran.
Yeah, he's now super bizarro Bran.
I'm just sitting here seeing all the visions and. Shut up.
Somebody put a meme online that was like, Bran's like a kid that goes away to college and comes back home over the summer, and he's so like you don't believe all the things he's experienced. You have no idea. I've been to college. I know. I've seen it all now. So he's essentially not really, he's not Bran anymore, essentially, is what they're trying to hint at, because he's seen everything that was and is going to be.
He died in that cave.
Which I thought was a pretty good scene, because that girl was like, all right, I guess I'll see you later.
And he's just like, bye.
He's like, bye. And she's like, is that all you have to say to me? And dragging your ass around, and everybody.
Like, yes.
But yeah, so Bran and Sansa.
And then Littlefinger gives him the blade that was meant to kill him in the first season.
Yeah, so that's. And then
he's like, I don't want this. Here you go, Arya. And she's like, oh, okay, thanks. And
this
he's
is
like,
the greatest Bran impression ever. He's essentially Professor X now, because he's riding around in a wheelchair.
And he's somehow more boring than Professor X. But speaking of Arya, she makes it back to Winterfell.
But the good Stark reunion was Arya shows up at Winterfell and nobody recognizes her.
Yeah, they're like, yo, what's up, little girl? We're going to kill you or rape you, so get out of here.
Let me ask you this before we get back into that. Should we do like a recap of I was thinking of call it Layman's of Thrones, where we just talk about, because everybody talks in these proper speeches and like doing this. What if we just did the whole season and be like, well, this is Eddard Stark. He's saying what the fuck's going on, and we just do the whole episode like in very like straight speak like we're doing now. Arya shows up and says, "Hey, I'm back," and they're like, "Get out of here, girl. You don't mean nothing." We just talk through the whole episode like that. It'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, she shows up and then slips past the guards and hangs out in the crypt, and her and Sansa have a reunion. They never really got along very much.
Yeah,
so
but you can tell they're
at least happy to see each other.
And then, who needs an army when you got Arya?
Yeah, she
whoops fucking
Brienne Tarth. She says, "I want to go a training session," and
with her little sword needle and her little dagger.
Sword. Yeah. So Brienne Tarth was whooping Podrick, was training Podrick and beating his ass. So Arya says, "I haven't trained in a while," and that's the first time you actually like. At least Sansa and everybody else has seen what she's done since she was in Braavos.
Littlefinger was like, "Oh God,
yeah,
can't get with that one."
Yeah, even Sansa laughed when she talked about her list and stuff. It's like, ha ha ha. And then Bran brought it up and like, oh yeah, Cersei, she's on your list. And she's like, uh-oh. And then she sees what she can do, which she was awesome.
Yeah, I was like wow.
She was very like fluid, and I don't know.
After being stuck in the
many-faced
God's temple blinded, fighting for however long.
So we didn't get to talk about that, but I loved that scene where the waif was chasing her through the streets.
Yeah.
That was an awesome sequence, and it ended really well. Back in the last season, though.
Yeah.
But no one else we got. And then
continuing on, we get to the point where Jaime's got his troops kind of lined up
Yeah, they're returning the gold back to King's Landing, and they're still in the Reach.
Yep, and then all of a sudden you hear some galloping.
Yeah.
And my first thought, because the sky was kind of cloudy, and I was like, oh shit, the White Walkers are showing up.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
I was like, how crazy would that be if like Jamie like also was one of the only other people that's seen this shit? Like he survives it, and he's like running around going, hey.
Hey guys, there's ice zombies. I agree with this guy over here.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is gonna be fucking cool. Here comes the dead army. Nope, it was the Targaryens, right?
The Dothraki.
Dothraki, that's right.
Riding on horseback, and Jamie looked at that and said, we can handle this. They were sort of spread thin. He sort of mentioned that.
Yeah, and then they didn't handle it because here comes Daenerys on her dragon just blowing everybody up with fire.
Drogon. Let's talk about this sequence. It came very quickly, and it came very surprisingly. And it was
awesome.
Awesome to watch. That dragon has gotten so much better looking since...
And just the whole sequence, the way it was shot, everything about it was just
like
amazing.
The people who are sort of like collapsing,
burning up, people flipping around, people jumping off horses. I mean, damn.
Yeah, it was an amazing scene, and
even what's his sidekick's name?
Bronn. I like Bronn. I think Bronn's awesome.
But like even him like trying to go through to get to the big spear shooter.
Yeah, the Scorpion.
Like him going through like that sequence was awesome. Like,
oh yeah, that one shot.
Yeah, where he's
running through.
Was
like he was just dodging it. Yeah, he was just trying to get away. He wasn't trying to like hurt anybody or get away from anything. He was just trying to get to the giant gun. I forgot about that sequence. That was a lot. Like they like doing that, and when they do, if you can pull off a one shot sequence and pull it off right, they're very.
Yeah, it's one of those things you gotta use sparingly. It's not. Did you ever watch Birdman? With Michael Keaton.
I didn't. I heard it was the whole movie.
Yeah, pretty much the whole movie is like a one shot, and it gets very old very fast.
But they did it in the Battle of the Bastards when Jon was standing there.
But people like love that movie, and they're it's so amazing. I think it should be used sparingly.
Yeah, you can't.
And these are definitely times that it looks amazing.
Yeah, especially with all the sequences happening in the back, and
he basically shoots an arrow or a big spear at Drogon and
misses the first time.
Misses the first time, and I was waiting. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna kill it. Like the dragon's gonna die."
Yeah, I thought the dragon was gonna die for sure. I kind of was hoping 2 dragons would be there. I guess that would have been expensive, and he would have taken one of them out, so Dany would kind of
been expensive.
Well,
she's like, "Oh, I can't afford to pay these dragons to come with me. They cost way too much." I
meant the cost would be expensive because I was watching it and I saw this because that's where a lot of Game of Thrones' budget goes.
Yeah,
is CG production. And that thing where the thing is strafing and knocking out all those things is a beautiful shot of the dragon. But I'm just like, that's like $3 million right there, probably for that one shot. So they don't want 3 dragons there, causing a bunch of mischief.
So he does get hit with the scorpion though, in like the shoulder area.
So this was a very tense because this is Game of Thrones. We're nearing the end. I wasn't 100% sure what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Is Dany going to get captured? Is Jaime going to get destroyed? And so...
Yeah, you're waiting for either the dragon to die, Jaime to die, or Daenerys to die.
You're waiting for one shoe to fall, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's an awesome sequence when he hits him with the thing, and the dragon lands and just takes that scorpion out in like one hit.
And then hits it with his tail.
Yeah, and it hits it with his tail and just obliterates it. Like I said, Game of Thrones does these beautiful battle sequences. When they do them, I mean, ever since the Battle of Blackwater, that was the first big one.
Yeah.
Ever since then, they've just nailed these big battle sequences. And this is the 4th episode in, and we've probably got more to come because next week was called Eastwatch, and that's where the White Walkers are supposed to show up.
Oh, yes.
So...
I've never wanted zombies more in a show.
I know. They're cool zombies, though. But, so yeah, you have Drogon. He's on the ground. Dany's trying to get this spear out. Jaime's there, just kind of like miraculously never been hit by fire this entire time. But you also see Tyrion on the ledge, which, by the way, how the fuck did Tyrion get there? I guess he rode on the back of the dragon, just kind of...
Maybe they rode up on some horses with the Dothraki behind him or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Or he walked.
They're doing a lot of time jumps in this more than they used to.
Or he time traveled.
He's time travel a little bit. But anyway, he's watching Jaime just telling him to run. He's like, you can tell he still cares about Jaime because Jaime's the only reason he's alive because Jaime let him go. And So you're seeing it. So I'm like, what? What is going to happen? I'm watching this thing going, what is going to happen? So Jamie picks up a spear and charges Dany. He decides he's going to take her out once and for all, regardless of what happens.
And that dragon's like, nope.
That dragon turns its head, opens his mouth, and I'm like, oh.
There
I thought
goes
Jamie
Jaime.
was going to get eaten.
I thought he was going to get burned to pieces.
And then out of nowhere, Bronn spears him off the horse as two horses ignite. And then the last scene is Jamie sinking to the bottom of the lake. Episode ends. And I'm like...
Ends 9 minutes early.
9 minutes early, yeah.
I was like, what?
It was a good packed episode.
It's one of those things, man. It's like I'm watching the clock like, okay, I've still got like 7 minutes left. There's still some stuff that can happen.
I try really hard not to do that because I don't want to be like, oh, is this the last sequence of
I know.
the episode? I try really hard not to do that.
I can't help it. It's like the clock's right there on the cable box. So it's like, oh, okay, I still got a good 10 minutes. There's still some stuff that can happen.
No! And then
it ended 9 minutes early. What the fuck?
Okay, so I thought Jamie or Dany I didn't think Dany was done for. I thought Dany would get captured. I thought that was what was going to happen.
I thought Jamie was going to die. That was where I thought Drogon was going to get shot in the head or Jamie was going to die. That was my two. And
in classic Game of Thrones manner, it subverts your expectations. It takes it like we've watched Game of Thrones. Everybody's going, "Oh, this dragon's going to die or Jamie's going to die." That's it.
This shows the origin of Aquaman.
That's it. Aquaman saves Jamie, and that's how we get the DC.
No, Jamie becomes Aquaman.
Oh, Jamie becomes Aquaman.
Yeah, he sinks to the bottom and becomes a merman.
Oh, there you go.
That's my prediction for the future of Game of Thrones.
What if Khal Drogo's down there? He is Aquaman.
Oh, shit.
He just helps him up.
Superman shows up.
Why is Superman showing up?
Fucking Justice League just shows up. And DC's like, fuck it. Game of Thrones is popular. Let's spend all our money and get our characters in Game of Thrones. That'll help us, right? Wonder Woman looks like an Amazon. Throw her in there.
Yeah, but it was such a great sequence and such a very packed 2 episodes. A lot of moving pieces.
Oh man! Now that I know what the White Walkers will be on this week's episode,
it's called Eastwatch, and they show sort of like a snowy march, and that's where what's his name went, the bearded wildling, the red bearded wildling that was everybody wanted to be with Brienne.
Yeah, the guy that looks like he's
looks like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one. Him and the wildlings are guarding the Eastwatch Tower, which is where Bran. They hinted that Bran said that's where the White Walkers were heading. So it's either going to happen in this next episode or the episode after.
I wish somebody would throw Bran at him.
So throw Bran at the just White Walkers.
Yeah, just like here.
You can have Bran. It's fine.
You guys want him? We good.
Oh, Bran. But yes, it was. This season's moving really fast, and I'm really sad there's only 3 episodes left.
Really? There's only 3?
Yeah, it was only 7 episodes season. You can't look at it. You can't look at it as this. You're just like so disappointed. You can't look at it. So remember when Breaking Bad did season 5 and season 6, but it's really just season 5 and season 5.5.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're doing. Season 7, there's only 7 books, so there's only not enough. There's obviously more than enough content. But they were going to do one last season, but they decided to split it into 2.
Okay.
So it's 2 smaller. So this is actually going to have the same amount of episodes as a normal season. Well, it's actually going to have 3 more than a normal season to fill the finale. And fear not, because the finale I'm thinking is clocking in at like 87 minutes.
Nice.
It's supposed to be a long finale.
Did you get any of that in that Sony hack or the HBO hack?
Oh yeah, the HBO hack where they're holding scripts for Game of Thrones ransom. Or they're going to release them online. You know?
I don't even say
they did that crap last year. And
yep.
You know what? People are just like, no, we don't care. Go ahead and release it.
Go ahead and release it. I'm not going to read it.
I'm not going to read it. If something says hacked Game of Thrones script, I'll be fine. I got 3 weeks to go. I can make it.
Yep. I'm not that desperate to see what happens. I mean, I want to see what happens, but I want to see what happens.
I want to
support the show because I like the show.
Yeah. We were going to have another Game of Thrones. What's the next Game of Thrones? Westworld's really good, but it's too early to tell.
Probably that Roseanne show that's coming back
out. The Roseanne reboot's gonna be the next Game of Thrones. 7 seasons of Roseanne trying to be the queen. I don't know. It's
gonna come out of nowhere. Whatever it is, it's gonna be the same thing. Just like Stranger Things. Just like
it's true.
You said Westworld. It's gonna be something that's just gonna kind of be like, oh.
We were talking about yesterday how depressing it was. There's only 3 episodes left because I'm just like, I've been waiting a while for this to come out.
I know. Now it feels like it's almost over.
Yeah. But I think what we'll do is we're going to have a marathon before the last season starts of the entire series. Just to be like,
we need to watch it all. We need to watch Ash vs. Evil Dead season 1 and 2, and then we can talk about season 3 whenever it finally decides to come out.
Yeah, let's do that. We can maybe Maybe we can set that up one of the days that you come over here for to shoot close-ups.
Yeah, because I mean,
We can run in the back TV, and I can help you out, but I can also watch it.
the seasons are 30-minute episodes, so it's like,
yeah, we'll set
it's like
that
watching
up.
a movie.
We can just kind of watch it while we do close-ups.
Yeah.
And then it won't be such a time suck because we have to do who knows how many close-ups of how many toys we got to do. We got a lot of videos coming out.
Yeah,
So,
not a lot. We need interns.
yes, anybody want to intern and do close-ups / editing / exporting videos / putting them online and putting all the tags on it?
/ feeding us.
Oh, God, so much. But we're working on it. Working on bringing some more stuff back, too. I'm thinking about setting up like a once a month sort of Let's Play thing. Just have everybody come out, knock out like 4 or 5 videos and just release them over the month.
Yeah.
Because that would be easier than trying to get everybody out every week.
Yeah, that's true.
Just say, hey, last Saturday of the month, let's do it. Let's play some video games. Doesn't have to be anything special, just whatever we want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff.
Check us out on all social media.
Check us out on all social media.
Where we don't post anything.
Where we don't post anything. Again, we need an intern to post stuff on social media for us.
We'll get out there to you guys one day.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on our Instagram, too.
Yeah.
We're start doing some, we do a lot of these collectibles, so we might start doing photography for that. Getting some notices. But anyway, I guess that's it, right?
Hey.
What?
There's ice zombies and they're coming.
They're on their way.
They're on their way. I just want to let you know.
Hey, did you see that G.I. Joe movie?
Did you see his paintings?
It is pretty funny. It's like John Cho inscribed them on the wall. So
That's what I thought she was.
That's proof.
I thought she was gonna be like,
right there.
I thought she was just gonna be like, you did this, didn't you? And he was like,
Yes, everybody was like, I mean,
No.
they were obviously ancient drawings, but it's super funny to imagine Jon Snow in the cave, like sketching them.
This will show them.
This will show them they're here. I like that meme she sent us today, where it's like Danny
They're both in Jon
they're
Snow.
both on cell phones, and it's like, hello. I was like, knock knock, who's there? Ben Denis, and he hangs up. She's obsessed with that,
Yeah, and he's just like, no.
Come on,
Ice zombies.
ice zombies are more important right
Come
now.
on, motherfucker.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.